you doing, YouTube? It is the Black Lion here, and I'm here to bring you some SVR 07 GMO gameplay. And we just came off a really good pay-per-view, Judgment Day, one of WWE's past pay-per-views that I really enjoyed throughout the years. And it had some classic matches throughout the years, and I'm truly appreciate that I got to do this Judgment Day pay-per-view because it was my very first one. And I'm glad that I got to see it on TV through the past years and on YouTube now. I thank you guys again for taking the time out to view my content, because I worked really hard on this, and I'm going to get better with each and every vid, because that's what I strive for, to be the best and bring out the best out of me. And that means working hard and taking the time to bring out quality videos to you guys. As you see in the video right now, I'm just paying my talent right now, because they worked really hard in the Judgment pay-per-view, and I'm truly proud of them, and they definitely deserve a reward. So I'm definitely paying them right now, because I definitely is very impressed with my talent and what they showed on the ratings and what I saw, and I'm truly proud of them. And as you see earlier in the vid, we have new champions, and I have a winner, excuse me, and I'm very proud of them. I always say in my videos that Kurt Angle is my favorite wrestler of all time and currently, and I'm so proud of him for getting the job done last week in the Judgment Day, because he definitely earned it. Rey Mysterio definitely gave him a really good competition. It was back and forth, and the winner was Kurt Angle, and I'm truly proud of him. And Rey Mysterio will have his rematch clause. With that being said, Randy Orton won the #1 contenders match against HBK Shawn Michaels, and he is the new #1 contender. And I'm gonna decide later in my videos whether it should be Randy Orton and versus Kurt Angle, or it should be Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle, or maybe it should be all three. I want to know what you guys think, how I should play this out, because I definitely want to be fair to my talent and also make it entertaining for you guys to see. So as you look above, you'll see in the title says about the tag team division, and that's what's going to be my primary focus in my videos. And right now, I'm just making the matches right now. I'm giving everybody the time off, because we did really well in the ratings with our first pay-per-view against Raw, and a lot of guys are in high profile matches, and I want to give them rest, because the fatigue will injure your wrestlers. So I definitely want to be mindful of them, and also want to give them a break and stuff like that. But like I said, tag team wrestling is very important to wrestling. It was really popular back in the day, but it's not as popular as it was, because everybody got to be world champion and stuff like that. And a lot of the attention has gone from wrestling to like the main event scene and stuff like that. But instead, the tag team division and the mid-card titles are once very important and headline main events throughout wrestling shows. And I just think that I want to make it show in my videos that they are important, and I will showcase them. And as we approach tonight's main event, we have Kane and the Big Show versus Chris Masters and Carlito in tonight's main event, and whoever wins will face the current tag team champions next week. Let's get into it. As you see Big Show's entrance, it looks really good. I know I keep talking about how the graphics are, but I'm so impressed on how they look, and the presentation, how well it was done in that time period, because this game takes place in the 06-05 season, and this was during a time where I started to notice a little change in wrestling, because I always talk about how great wrestling was in early 2000s through 2006, because that's my golden era. Excuse me guys, that was my golden era in wrestling, because I was born during the Attitude Era, so I didn't really get to enjoy it as much as people that were born in in the 80s and 70s and stuff like that. But I definitely respect the Attitude Era, and I definitely like it. But my favorite time period for wrestling was how they say the ruthless aggression era. And as you see, Kane is his tag team partner. He's coming out to the ring. I definitely really like Kane. My favorite times for Kane is when he was feuding with Triple H, when he first came back from his injury, when he had the half a mask on where it covered his eyes not his eyes, where his forehead and a little bit of his face, and you can see his lips and stuff like that. And when he's feuding with Triple H in the Katie Vick storyline, and I thought that was a little, how you say, edgy or whatever. But I definitely enjoyed what Triple H in the game, and Kane did. And you know, the rivalry is definitely very, very intense, and it definitely showed a good match. And I definitely thought Kane should have won, but in the result, Kane ended up losing his mask, and you know, that's when he turned into a bad guy. And that was the very first time I think anyone has seen him when his mask came off. And as you see right now, Carlito's coming to the ring. You know, Carlito was another really, really good superstar who had a lot of potential. And my favorite moment is when he spit the apple on John Cena's face. And no, I'm not a John Cena hater, but I definitely thought when Carlito did that for the first time, I definitely thought he made his presence known within the WWE. And I truly do appreciate what he did in the ring, and I hope he's having a good future. Having good things happen to him in the future when he's not in the wrestling business. As you see, Chris Masters, another really big and strong individual who was once, you know, a really good wrestler and was pushed and faced, you know, major players within the WWE. But I know his second return back to WWE wasn't nearly as good as he should. And I also thought he was misused because, you know, the Masterpiece, you know, he was a decent wrestler and he was very strong, and he definitely had a different presence at that time than most people did. And, you know, I really enjoyed what the Masterpiece did. And, you know, I think when he put on the Master Lock, it was definitely like lights out for anybody who got in it, you know, with the exception of Bobby Lashley when he first broke it. That was just a really good time in wrestling for me, because, you know, Bobby Lashley was like, you know, a really good wrestler at the time, and when, you know, he broke out the Master Lock, you know, nobody broke out of the Master Lock at that time, and it was unheard of. And I thought it was definitely a good time in wrestling, a good moment. And, you know, you see Chris Masters, his entrance, you know, his entrance is definitely really, really good, fairly accurate for his time, and I definitely enjoy, you know, watching this because, you know, I think they got the animations on point. You know, Chris Masters, if you go on YouTube and you see his entrances in the past, is definitely what it should be. And as we get ready for this match, you know, the pre-match animations that they're doing, you know, I think that WWE, you know, is definitely transitioned over time, but I appreciate their product and what they did. And the same goes for TNA. You know, it was mainly focused about the X Division at one point, and now it's focusing, you know, on factions and the world title instead of, you know, the X Division talents and the X Division championship and tag team wrestling, which it originally was based. But, you know, I accept, you know, the changes within wrestling because I think it's important that we enjoy all aspects of it. Even if there's some things that we don't like and we wish that can change, I think we should just persevere, and not just accept it, but just appreciate it, because, you know, the good times definitely will roam again. And as you see, Big Show just laid out Carlito, and Carlito just threw Big Show onto the turnbuckle and just put his leg right into his jaw, even though that animation you just saw, it was just kind of invisible. But, you know, Carlito just got outside the rope and did an elbow off the rope and hit Big Show in his chest. And like I said earlier in my video, I'm definitely going to focus on the tag team division because it was definitely glorified back in the day. And I always want to make sure that, you know, that I represent my brand, you know, accordingly. You know, I want to make sure everybody gets treated fairly, and I want to make sure that on my brand, you know, every championship means something, you know, because every belt has an importance to me, because to be a champion is not just, you know, being the best, but, you know, showing that, you know, it's important, and it's an honor to be a champion, you know. I just want to make sure that in my videos, you know, YouTube, you guys get to see, you know, every aspect of all my champions and defending it and showing you guys the value of it, because I know The TNA World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE Championship, the World Heavyweight Championship are mainly focused in today's wrestling product. Back in the day, all the other titles like the United States Championship, the Intercontinental Championship, the X Division Championship, and the Cruiserweight Championship, those titles were heavily important back in the day. They definitely were shown in the main event a lot more. And they definitely had really great champions holding the belts. And as you see, Carlito got Big Show in some sort of leg lock, but Kane broke it up, because I don't think he would have tapped out. But Carlito hit some kind of clothesline and laid Big Show out for the 1, 2, 3. It was a pretty good match. I think Carlito and Chris Masters are going to be really good contenders for the tag titles. I hope the tag champions are ready. And I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch my videos. I truly do appreciate it. And remember, until next time, keep God in mind at all times. I'm the Black Lion, and I'm out. Thanks for watching, guys.